Hi, good morning everyone. Thanks for tuning back in. Episode 38 today. We're going to talk about pull-ups, some exercises that you can do to improve your pull-up or maybe even just help accomplish that first one. It's definitely an exercise that a lot of people use as something, that's what I'd like to do. Difficult for men and women alike. And thinking about the exercise, what muscles are really required. Your prime mover is going to be that big muscle of your back, your lats, right? Your big lat muscles. But what we really need is not only those to fire really well, but also the shoulder joint to be stable. You're going to see different types of pull-ups out there. Certain types are needed to accomplish certain things. There's, your strict pull-up where it's just your typical up and down. You'll see, especially in forms of exercise like CrossFit or whatnot, they might actually use a kipping motion where they're using momentum. And that's really just because they're trying to accomplish a lot of them in a period of time. You're looking at different skills depending on which one of those you're using. I'm really talking about the strict pull-up today. Your traditional up and down, not really using any movement, really helping the shoulder joint lock in, get stable and strong in that retracted and depressed position. So we've talked about shoulders being retracted and depressed before. Really what that means is I'm pulling the shoulder blades back together to retract them and keeping them depressed down away from my ears. That keeps them in a really stable position. It also helps already start to fire your lats when you're doing that. So we've used these mini bands before. So something easy as a warm-up, whether you use a cable machine or a band like this, is just focusing on setting those shoulders back, pulling the blades back together, but not elevating the ears, keeping them down, all right? And you'll find that when you do pull-ups or when people really start, especially if you look from behind, when they go to reach, they might be pulling with one side more than the other. So being able to keep that down in the joint is really key to, one, help build the strength, but kind of protect some injuries from happening, especially in the front of the capsule, right? So that's a great warm-up, just those pull-back, retraction, depression type exercises, any type of pushing down to help stabilize as well. But then thinking about how to actually transfer that into some exercises as well. I would definitely do a lot of body weight stuff that mimics a pull-up and thinking about planes of motion. So an easy one is thinking about like an eccentric pull-up. So you can stand on a box and come up to your height. All right, and now I'm at the top, and I'll slowly lower myself down. But again, focusing on keeping the shoulders down, so I might either jump, right, and very slowly work just the eccentric low, just the feeling of coming down into that pull-up. Other things you could do would be any type of like inverted row with the barbell, where you're bringing yourself down. Also TRX rows. Definitely check it out. If you haven't been in the club in a while, we have our new functional playground room set up. So TRXs are out. Everyone can use it when there's not a class going on. So definitely incorporate something like this. Again, a row, shoulders are back, right? You're pulling it back. You're changing the plane of motion. So inverted rows, TRX rows, lat pull down, anything where you're mimicking that shoulder joint being stable. And thinking about some core exercises as well. If we're standing, we're strong, we want to be this nice connected chain all the way through. If I'm loose in my core and my hips, that swaying momentum, it might just help, or might make me less efficient moving like straight upwards, right, for a pull-up. So thinking about those different exercises, come in and talk to one of our trainers at the club. We're definitely going to help you with some exercises, point in the right direction. Make sure your shoulder's healthy enough and you don't need to work on a few other correctives. That way when you're on this pull-up journey, you stay healthy and you'll get there a lot quicker. So come in and talk to us, and we'll see you next week.